Alright, guys and gals, welcome to This Land is My Land, the guide. This game is pretty cool, but it's pretty big, and it can be slightly overwhelming if you take a wrong turn in the beginning of the game. It can be a really long grind, but it's so worth playing that I figured I'd make this guide just to just to make sure the game stays fun, not to hold your hand in any way, shape, or form, but just to kind of point you in the right direction, so to make things playable. If you notice on the bottom of the screen here, I have offline mode ticked because I don't want the social aspect of this game in the first part of this guide. It changes the game around, and it does a lot of really cool things. Don't get me wrong. But just for this guide, I'm going to keep it off. The options are pretty straightforward. As far as key controls and things like that, you can change the mouse. You can change the mouse sensitivity. You're pretty much going to want to keep the key controls the same. You can play with the graphic settings in here real quick, and then we're going to start resistance, and we're just going to start new resistance right here and get going. Now I noticed the first loading screen in this game takes a little while. They're not all that bad in this game, but like I'm rocking a brand new SSD, and the load time on this first one anyway is significant. Like I said, the game's pretty large. It's an open world survival forward slash strategy game, but it's not boring in any way, shape, or form. There's so many different facets to it. There's always something jumping out at you. Like, it's not one big, slow, crazy grind. So, welcome aboard. And I got in here while I was looking for an opportunity to join a great warrior named. Now, this is where you pick a name. And the reason why this is very important, and you want to do this carefully, is because it has a generator that generates bonuses, pre-game bonuses, starting bonuses. You can go on websites and check out like who does what names do what, which is more or less, to me anyway, like cheat codes, if you know what I mean. Like a couple I saw were that one used to be better. I don't know why it changed. Let's see. Another one I saw was Cougar. That one actually changed too. Some of these used to give you like you can go look up names and they'll give you like thousands of skill points to start with and like massive health bonuses. And to me, that's just like cheap. But you know, that's up to you. You can literally sit here and just start typing in names and see, you know, what they do. And then whatever one you want, you know, pick it. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and rock my, my channel name. And that's actually not bad. I almost feel guilty using that. 670 skill points. It's not massive. I mean, I've seen ones that give you like thousands. So I'm gonna go ahead and rock that. Now this is asking you how you want to start, and one of the reasons why I'm not gonna start in insane mode is because I didn't use a crazy cheat code name, if you will. But I just want to show you how the game starts normally and how to set up properly, so we're just going to start in normal mode. I hear a horse. The horseman coming. Like I said, this game is a lot of fun to play. What happened there? I think I don't recall ever hearing that. So the game starts you off in a camp, and the way it works is you're setting up your camp full of warriors to prepare to to take back other camps that settlers have settled on, and you don't want to go out, guns blazing, empty-handed. You want to get set up nicely first. Make sure you got all your little warriors in a row, little Indians, and so you're nice and prepared. And that's basically the purpose of this guide, to make sure you don't just jump out and start doing crazy objectives. Now, anything that's on here, if I go too fast, remember that you can pause it. So we're going to have a quick look around. This is our camp. Welcome to camp. First things first, this is the fire, right? And this is, if you can see, this is where you can rest and save. The F button, it basically interacts with everything in this game. The F button is basically, your ally. And you can see some of the basic controls. The game kind of walks you through, some of the basics. So this is where you rest and save. It resets your skill, your health points. But every time you do this, it's going to advance, I think, 12 hours. It's basically, if it's light out, when you rest and save, it's going to be dark. Your next best friend in this game is the tab button. The tab button is the menu button, and it basically shows you this. This is the map. And you can scroll in with the mouse wheel, and this is the icon of your camp. Now you can click on your camp, and this is the menu for your camp. Now, what we want to do is look up here first and look at these tabs. Inventory is, of course, what you have. Craft is pretty extensive. Don't be intimidated by this, because most of it you don't know yet, but you can learn by spending. The ones that are highlighted are the ones that are available, because we have enough skill points to purchase these. Now, what this is saying right here, stack controls, is you when you go to move something, you can move things from your inventory to your camp. You hold down shift, it'll move everything. If you hold down alt and click on it, it'll let you choose the number of items in which you want to move. It's easier than it sounds. Now this is the craft menu, and you're going to spend a lot of time here. This is the objectives menu, and we're not going to worry too much about this yet, because like I said, we want to get set up first before we start running out and doing objectives. But these are important because you want to complete these properly to gain the maximum amount of XP, SP skill points, because our main goals are to get everybody set up first and ready to rock and working for us to acquire skill points to get us to a point where we're all set up how we want to be. We need skill points to purchase these things. For example, the skills here require these skill points are in red. So this is all the ones you get from warrior. We're not going to go through these right now. These are the ones you get from scout. These are the ones you can get from chief, and this one's for hunter. And they all do really important things. And you're going to spend a lot of time poking around in these to try to figure out how you want to, roll initially, how you want to set your guy up. It's really important. And like I said, the social window we'll get into later. Right now we have social off. So that's the main menu with its tabs. That's when you hit the tab key, you'll see these. The next important thing to go through is the camp menu. So you click on your camp. By the way, this is your icon here. This little round guy with a little thing that shows you which way you're facing. really important before I move on to the menu. You can right click. You can scroll out and in, of course, to your map. You can right click anywhere on the map and put a marker. Up, see this says use the Q to change the camera side. I don't really use this, but you can shift where the camera is. I don't really know why. It has its merits. Okay, see the marker, the square marker now. That's actually right here on the ground. You'll see once we leave camp, that square marker will shoot up into our compass, our guide at the very top of the screen here. It'll show you where things are, and you see the numbers underneath. It says how many meters to your destination. So there are a couple kind of skills. Some can be used with G, some to hold G. Okay, we'll get into that later. Uh, so the compass at the top showed us where the fire was and where my marker was. To get rid of the marker, just right click again. So marker on, marker off. You're going to need that because the woods in here are crazy. Like, crazy. You're gonna get lost if you don't mark things. You're gonna get lost anyway. But that's half the fun of the game. So this is camp. These are our warrior buddies. You just kind of hang out and do stuff until we kind of tell them what to do. His tent is closed. You can't go in that. But that open tent is kind of ours, and we can go in there. And this loot area, from what I can gather, they're they're different. You'll find things in this loot area, and then you could store different things in this loot area. And I'm not sure why. Some things are shared, some aren't. So make sure you use both these. So we're gonna call this our main loot area, and you press F to access it. And all the stuff is listed in here. Now this is empty at the moment. We're currently holding 5 flax and 12 wood. Now say we want to put the wood into the loot area, you can just highlight it and click the put button. It'll do it one at a time. Or you can hold down the alt button and click put, and you can select the number and then hit confirm, and it'll move that many. Or if you want to just move the whole stack all at once, you just hold down shift and click put, and it moves the whole stack. See? Done. Now if you want to say you want to grab everything and take off, you just hit the take all button, and that's the same with, say you raid a camp and you want to loot their loot. Give me the loot, and you just want to take all real quick, just hit the take all button, and you'll notice it's back in our inventory. Now, so that's the off-limits tent. There's going to be one in every camp. Not every camp is going to have a tent for you, especially before you upgrade it. We'll get into that in a minute. This is your corral. It seems to be locked at the moment. Hold F like everything else, and you can mount a horse by holding F. Horses is your third best friend, besides the F key and the tab key. And then just hold F to get back off the horse. And honestly, I've never seen a horse go anywhere. The purpose of the corral is kind of weird. I just kind of like lock them up just in case. Actually, they do kind of disappear. This game is very dynamic in the way that you'll log out and come back like days later, and everything's changed. Like there's more warriors in your camp all of a sudden, and they've helped them. By the way, all your warriors will help themselves to your loot, which is actually quite a good thing. And it's funny that way. It's like it keeps you guessing. It's full of surprises. Now, okay, so that's basically the ins and out of camp and a quick rundown of the menu. If I went too fast for you, it's just because there's a lot, and you can, rewind and check it back out. You can always ask me questions in the comment section, and I will definitely be answering them. Now, right now we're in camp and it's dark, and our first objective is to craft bow and wooden arrows. So, what we're gonna do, this is really important. Hit tab, go to the craft tab. Because we have a little bit of wood and some flax, those are the requirements for wooden bow. So we want to craft wooden bow. See how the craft button is there? On the other ones, see how it says learn? And on stuff that you know but don't have the ingredients for, it will say the craft button will be there, but it won't be, clickable. It'll be grayed out. So we're gonna craft one bow. And that consumed all of our flax, so we can only craft one. And then we're gonna craft all the arrows we can. So I'm gonna hold down the shift key, right? Hit craft, and it should craft more than one. Yeah, it's gonna see how on the bottom it's progressing, and it crafted all the ones that we had the available materials for. That's the shift key, and then click the craft button. Now, one to switch the weapon. So that was the next thing I was gonna get into. The important buttons are one. You hold down one, and you can select your weapon. Click on your weapon, and now that's the weapon that you're using. To fire your bow, you aim it with right click, and then left click to fire. Now, the 2 button is usable items. So in the future, you're holding down the 2 button. You're gonna have medicines that we've made that you can drink or eat, and things like that. Teas, tonics, potions. This is the quick guide to use them real quick, like. That is the sound of a wolf. And I hope it doesn't come here because we have like no armor. I'm actually nervous about it. Okay, so alright, it's asking us to save the game, but whatever. What you want to do is gather more ingredients for more arrows and weapons, for not just for you, but for everybody in your camp. If you look at the top left-hand corner, our next objective is giving us is to craft wooden arrows. So you hit the tab button, and you go to craft. Now you'll see that wooden arrows, it says not enough craft items. Oh, that's weird, it won't let me create arrows. So we're going to create some more bows. In this wooden bow, column, tab, you'll see this create objective is clickable. Click that, and then you can say, alright, so the bows suck really bad, and we want to arm everybody, so we're gonna make like 5 of these, and we're gonna click the search button, and what that does is see this, it's hard to see it, but there's a marker here now. This little triangle with the gold thing in it, yellow thing in it. That's, you'll see it's up in our compass at the top of the screen. That's what we want. This is going to show us the way to the materials we need. So I need hickory to make a bow. We need 2 things. We need hickory and flax. You can see at the top left-hand corner. We need 35 wood, which is hickory, and 25 flax. So you hit F, and it collects it. So what I'm going to do, just for how the game asked me to, I'm going to hold down F, resting and saving. You don't want to mess with the game while it's saving at all. And I'm talking seriously, don't even play with buttons or anything. Now you'll notice that this guy's in a different spot now and he's playing with the fire. Everything's different when you rest. That's just the way it is. That's how it goes. So look at the compass up at the top. one thing real quick. Still won't let us make arrows yet. It's weird. We're collecting flax and wood. And I'm not gonna make you watch this whole thing, but you'll see as we run, the icons literally fly out of the sky and onto the plants and materials that you need to harvest. It's pretty cool, actually. Just run up to them and tap F. There's no need to hold F down. I saw a guy that the guy was saying to hold F down. You don't really have to. The best thing to do is when you have to keep in mind your little pointer. See the little dot in the middle of the screen? That has to be. Oh, yeah. Also you can collect other things besides the active objective you have. The pointer dot in the middle of the screen, you want it to be pointing at the little triangle that you're going to collect, or if it's pointing way off here, you run up to your item that you want to collect. Hitting F will do nothing, and it gets annoying because then you got to run around in circles until you see the little F icon pop up. So make sure your pointer is pointing at what you want to collect. If you're looking elsewhere, see, I just collected something that wasn't part of the objective. If you're looking elsewhere, it won't collect it as fast. It'll take 10 hours. Now, the game's telling me to. Alright, see the little horse icon up at the top? That's going to be where we left our horse. Now, that's anytime you get off a horse, that little icon will be there. But, just as a reminder, we're going to hit the tab button, see our map. We're going to right click on our camp, see where we put the little square up at the top on our compass, and we're gonna head back to camp that way. So the game asked us to add camp order to the inventory, which means hitting tab, getting rid of the marker, which means it wants us to tell the warriors to help us out, which is freaking awesome. We can just set them and forget them, and they'll do things in the background. There's two ways to do this. You can click on this little icon, and it brings up the camp menu, or you can click on your main camp icon. Now, when I say there's two ways to do this, I mean this. You can add a general order to the entire camp, and you can have a lot of members in your camp. Right now, we only have 3. And eventually, over time, they will fill the order, and they can craft things and do all types of cool stuff. You'll get into that. You can also tell them to attack, gather, settle. You can settle a new camp, or you can tell them to go tame more horses. And you're gonna get into this in the future. The gather one's quite important. You have to set them up. And I'll show you how to do this later. You have to arm them first so they don't go off and get killed. Because if you don't arm them, they will all die. You have to keep an eye on their weight and things like that. So we'll set this up a little later, but right now we're just going to place a general order. We're going to say, from the drop down menu, always start at the top, we're going to say we need... I'm sorry, what did the game ask us to do? Add camp order... Alright, so it wants bows and arrows. Okay, so click on the camp icon, add order. We're going to do wooden arrow, and we need a lot because these arrows and bows are garbage. We're gonna do, let's not go crazy. We're gonna do like 65 or 60, and confirm. Now, you'll see, under camp inventory orders, it says wooden arrow now. Under camp inventory, it says 0 because there's nothing in the camp. We're going to place another order for bows. There's 3 of us, and they break really easily. So we're going to, from the drop down menu, select wooden bow, and I want to make seriously, like 15 of them, just for starters. Now here, notice here it says camp inventory orders processed over time, and camp members can craft only learned recipes. Now, I'm pretty sure they will make these bows for us, so they'll go out and collect flax and the the wood and make a bow and put it in the inventory. And the arrows, I don't think we've learned that yet. Well, we can craft them. Let's see. Okay, now notice now it says create objective. We had to craft them all first. So right now we're gonna make some bows. One other thing I need to point out is that, see where it says 2 SP right here? 2 skill points. For every bow you make, you get 2 skill points. For every arrow you make, you get a skill point. And that's just, you know, they're pretty low numbers because we're just starting out. So, as you may notice, not everybody's in camp anymore, so they're up. Wait, I do believe he's going now. You'll see them walking around and to do your bidding, if you will. So, click on the camp icon, and we'll see we can't get them to gather. We want them to gather some wood. We're gonna send one warrior to gather wood. It says 0 warriors has weapons, but it won't let them give us weapons just yet, which is okay. And we're gonna click the send button. Now eventually, that's probably him right there. Oh, maybe not. You'll see the little warrior icons start wandering off, and to go do your bidding, of course. We rule them. We don't have, as you have them do more things, the your ability to send them to do more specific things and arm them will increase. Now, another thing, if you hit tab, you hit the camp on your map rather, you'll see that it says 1 times Brentburn warriors are getting wood, and another one getting wood. That's because I ordered them specifically to get wood. And the inventory, let's see if there's anything in the inventory yet. So just to recap, the general orders for the entire camp, they'll start doing them, you know, basically whenever they feel like it. But the specific orders, if you click the camp icon and click gather, they'll go right away, usually. So what you need to do right now is we're going to go gather the rest of our wood arrows. I mean wooden bows and flax. Make bows, craft them, and then you want to put them in here. And what that will do is, first off, it cuts down on your weight. See, weight right here, 1.7. We don't have much on this right now, but this fills up real fast, and you can't carry all that stuff with you. So you need to get your weight down a little bit. And so you need to dump stuff into the camp inventory, but also more importantly, wood arrows, weapons, wooden bows are very important to have in here because the camp members will arm themselves, and when you go to send them on missions, you'll be able to, for example, now we click on our camp icon. Here, let's just cancel these real quick. You can click the X here to cancel them, and it'll say one warrior returning. This little arrow means returning back to Brentburn. But say we want to send somebody out to specifically gather something, and it's dangerous to send them out with unarmed. So we can if it was in here, we can hover over this like it says, and it says give to warrior, and it'll appear in here, so you can give them, you know, bows and arrows and things once you have more than enough in the camp inventory. So right now we have general orders. Click the tab button, general orders to collect wooden bows and arrows. If it's more important that you want more bows and arrows, or you want them to get them first rather, you can hit the prioritize button and it'll move it up. So now wooden bow is at the top, and if I wanted to move, this list can get pretty big, and if I wanted to move something faster than something else, you can hit prioritize, it moves it to the top of the list. So these guys should be collecting selected item already ordered. Selected item already ordered. Okay, so that's how you want to get started. You want to make sure everybody's armed and ready to go, and then these simple objectives right here that you see: find an old camp, take leftover items. Click the objectives tab. You don't want to go nuts with any of these ones that send you far away yet, but this simple one, find old camp, you can click this. This gets rid of it. I'm not sure what the middle icon does, to be honest. Oh, points it out, brings you to it on the map, and then this marks it on the map. So you'll see it put a marker way over here, and I can move it to the next objective or move it back to that objective. So what we're going to do now is, real quick, I just want to show you what's involved in just banging out that first objective. I don't know why I always close the door. I don't think it's necessary. You never see the horses run away, but they do. So again, the icons on our compass at the top. Sorry, it's the other way. Horses can be a little hard to steer until you get running. You hold shift like to run, and you hold shift to gallop on your horse. Trekking through the woods at night can be a little hairy, because you'll see the terrain is very, very realistic. I mean, the woods are just like this. You'll come into cliffs and all types of crazy crap all the time, and you gotta find your way around it. Don't worry too much about getting lost, because like I said, if you can't find camp again, you can mark it up and just go to the marker. And you can always hit the map, zoom in, see our warriors are taking off to go gather wood. Zoom in, you can see where you are. One thing to take note is this wolf icon here. We're heading into wolf territory. So I'm gonna make sure that I hold down. Oh, we don't even have any weapons on us. That's not that good. We're gonna go anyway. You never want to leave camp without weapons. So if we see a wolf, we're just gonna run like smoking open. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds cool. And oops, I hit the wrong button. we need to. Oh, we're like right in wolf territory. Now we're stuck on a rock. Oh, I'm not going to that camp. I just want to show you that then, real quick. It's even better. A neutral camp. Just right over here. And what this is some other Indians that are just like kind of hanging out doing their thing. And you can approach someone with the icon over his head. He's just kind of lounging. And you hit F to talk to him. And then you click on your name. Or, yeah. And you ask him, will you join my fight? And they always say this. Oh no, they usually say yeah, they will join your fight, but we don't have 6 warriors yet, so that's not a big deal. Once you do have 6 warriors, which is cake to get, they'll join your fight, and then you can go to this. This fire will be lit for you, and they can you can fast travel from when a fire is lit and it's not in contested territory. You can fast travel to the from fire to fire, which is really fantastic because, like I said, this game is massive. So right now we're gonna get the icon off of here, and we're gonna try to get to that other camp. One thing I just want to check is, oh, we can't steal items from them yet. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Anytime you see baskets and things like that, that's loot. And usually you can help yourself. But right now, because we haven't unlocked this camp yet, we can't access it, which is not a big deal. Now, because of the topography here, I can't really decide. And it's dark out. Which way to go? Because of these mountains and things. Well, I just want to get to this old camp and alright, see the little red marker that appeared right there? That means there's a wolf or a predator locking onto us, and pretty much we now have a wolf chasing us around. You can hear him huffing and puffing and breathing. That's a bad thing. So we don't have any weapons around. See him right there? So we're just gonna run away. And he just attacked us. We're gonna keep running. We're gonna get out of here. It's my fault for not carrying a weapon, so let that be lesson learned. And I'm going to you click on this little icon here and it'll bring you back to your camp, or where you are, and then you can find camp here, and we're gonna mark camp real quick so we can get there. We're gonna go back to our camp and we're gonna arm up, and then we're gonna come back and grab our objective. The first objectives they give you are pretty easy. You don't, like I said, you don't want to go nuts with the ones that take you far away to find other camps yet and things. You want to stick to this camp, fill it up with weapons. As time goes on, other Indians will pass by and notice that, you know, you've got things working in your camp, things are going pretty good for you, and they will join you, literally join your camp. So right now it says we have 2 of 8. We can easily fill this up with 8 members, like, in no time. So just so you know, real quick, I want to go check on my food, and I want to grab my wooden arrows. I'm gonna take all this, and so one of the camp members stole my stole my bow. I'm gonna just craft one up real quick when we come back. So I'm gonna end the first part of this little guide here. I'm gonna rest up and save. And as you'll notice when we come back, it will probably be light out. And what you want to focus on for now is running around the woods, familiarizing yourself with the game. Go to your craft menu, set the objectives, your first objective to bows, and gather up materials to make like 15 or 20 bows because they break really easily. Keep 3 of them on you at all times. Put the rest in the camp inventory. Then set your craft objective to make wooden arrows, and you literally want to make like 60 or 70 of them. Keep dumping them into the camp inventory. Keep like 20 or maybe 30 bows or whatever on you at all times, because as you're running around, if you come across any deer, you see, to crouch and sneak up on those bastards and kill as many as you can. Gather the meat and dump it into the camp inventory. We're gonna use it later, all those materials later, your resources, and just run around doing that. Collecting things, familiarizing yourself with what things look like, and really just getting comfortable with the game. We're gonna get everybody armed up, and we're gonna start banging out objectives, and I'll show you more in the next video, which will be coming up shortly. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so you can find it. There will be a link to a full playlist of these videos down below this video. And it's good to see you guys. Welcome to This Land Is My Land, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.